The funeral should be finishing up by now. Let me know when it's over. Huh? But still, I can't believe he was only in his 50s and he died. Dad worked hard for so long, and he seemed to be very strong. I didn't think he would go so soon. I wonder if he was weakened after Mom passed away. No way, is this my sister? Why are you so surprised? You're the one that told me to contact you. You continually send me letters, called me, and sent me text messages. That's why I finally contacted you after 10 years. Is this really my sister? Yes, it is. You're such a skeptic. Why didn't you call me before? Our father passed away. I know. Thanks to your persistence contacting me over and over again. If you saw my messages and letters, why didn't you answer me right away? I wanted you to come so much while we were going through the illness. I contacted you through all my letters, texts, and phone calls. There was no response. I felt like I was breaking down on my own. That's a bit awful, isn't it? Huh? There wasn't anything special that I could do. What? What do you mean? Well, think about it. Even if I had gone to the hospital, I wouldn't have been able to do anything for him, right? That's true, but we've only got each other. I wanted to take care of our father during his last days with you. The burial is tomorrow. You should come home to the folks' house now. I don't know where you are, but you can still make it if you get on a plane. No, I'm good. Huh? I'm not much for sob stories. I didn't have anything to talk about, so I just ignored you. Funerals and stuff like that are a hassle, so I'll just go get the money after it's all over. Money? The inheritance! Inheritance! Since our mother has already passed away, we, the daughters, will get all the money. I'll go get the money after things cool down. Are you out of your mind? You're his flesh and bone daughter. Aren't you sad that he's gone? Don't you want to see him one last time? You didn't attend his wake or funeral. You didn't worry about him at all, and all you want is money. You disgrace and dishonor your parents. Whoever wants to go should go. I don't want to go. I'm just saying that I won't go. Sis, have you ever thought about our father's feelings? What do you mean? Even while he was suffering, he was worried if you were getting by. He was worried that you weren't getting enough to eat. He was worried about you until the end. He has always worried about you ever since you left home 10 years ago, and we lost touch with you. Oh, I see. So he was worried about me. Of course he was. Is there a parent who wouldn't worry about their own child? Oh, don't even get me started on that. What? I don't remember asking anybody to worry about me. Dad just went and worried about me on his own. I don't care about Dad. I just didn't contact him. A father and child bond? Dishonor? That kind of stuff bums me out. Only those who don't waste their time and energy can make it in this world. The most important thing is not the bond between parent and child, or something ridiculous like that, but money. When your father goes to the other side, as long as you get your inheritance, there's nothing else. That's terrible. You're like the devil. I didn't know my sister was like that. You're my sister and you just figured it out now? I've always been like this. I'm a smart person. I don't waste my time with useless things. Enough. I'll pretend I never had a sister. That's fine. I'm sure I'd feel suffocated with a girl like you. You're not getting any inheritance either. If you come to our parents' house after the funeral, I'll throw you out. Don't ever show your face to me again. Huh? What are you talking about? There's no way you have the right to do that. I'm our father's eldest daughter, and your sister. I get all the inheritance. What? All of it? That's what Father said. Grandpa's land, Mom's life insurance, and of course, Dad's life insurance, right? I think it's a pretty big inheritance considering all that. He said that I, the eldest daughter, will inherit all of it. There's no way Dad would say such a thing. Besides, there's no way my sister, who's been missing for 10 years, could talk about such a thing. How can you be so arrogant after neglecting your sick father for so long? It doesn't matter if you took care of him or not. I am entitled to my inheritance. On my birth certificate, we are parent and child, and I am the eldest daughter. No matter how much inheritance there is, you won't get a single penny, okay? Why do you get to decide something like that alone? You don't have that kind of authority. You've always been a girl who doesn't listen to others. Oh, is that so? You never listened to me and told Dad everything. That's why Dad and Mom were always so angry at me. They were always taking your side. I couldn't live comfortably in a home like that. I had no choice but to leave and cut off contact with you guys. That's because you would say stuff like, steal that toy, or take $10 out of Dad's wallet. You're always telling me to do strange stuff. You've always lacked common sense. That's because I ran out of allowance. It's his fault for not giving me more. You've never run out of allowance, have you? You always got a lot of money from him, didn't you? Keeping me poor and always giving you more money is child abuse, isn't it? You and I had the same amount of allowance. If anything, I always got less. I saved mine and planned on how I would spend it. Unlike my sister, who would just go and blow it all away. You've never had a plan, even when we were little. Shut up! I don't need you to tell me what to do. Kids have their own social life. I guess someone as immature and clueless as you wouldn't understand. It's like you don't listen to people, do you? Your egotistical attitude has always hurt me. You, our father, and our mother are the same. That's why I had to leave. You are such a heartless sister, blaming me instead of helping me. A poor girl who was kicked out of the house. I don't understand what you mean. You're the one who's selfish. What's that? Not everything is as it seems, okay? I don't understand. My common sense is just insane to you. Don't judge everything by your own values. You'll always be a child. You haven't grown at all in the last 10 years. I don't want to grow up insane. You are the one who will always be a child. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Don't ever contact me again. That's not going to happen. Because you're just trying to steal all my inheritance, aren't you? It's so obvious. I have no intention of talking to you about the inheritance. Of course, I have no intention of giving it to you. So I have nothing more to say to you. Wow, you're so confident. I'll keep contacting you until I get my inheritance. I'm telling you not to contact me, okay? No, I'll be in touch. Are you ready to give me our father's inheritance? I can't wait for you to give it to me. Why don't you grow up? I think you're the one who needs to grow up. I told you I have nothing to say to you. Don't say that. Actually, there's this guy I'm dating. Yeah, so? He's a gambler and spends a lot of money. So what? I was hoping we'd have fun. But he's been spending all my money too. Don't you feel sorry for me? I don't. See? You're not listening to me again. You're an adult, right? You're going out with him because you think it's good for you, right? Well, I like him. Then why not? Are you saying that I should give you father's inheritance for your gambler boyfriend? Exactly. I thought you were a clueless woman who had no luck in love. But you're smarter than I thought. Then you'll just go ahead, hand over the inheritance, won't you? I'm not going to hand over anything. You can't keep stalling forever, okay? In the end, you're going to give me all of it. It's better for you to give it to me while you still can, okay? If you keep stalling, there's going to be trouble. Yeah, right. I don't think it's right for you to keep the inheritance to yourself, do you? Normally speaking, the next head of the family will be me, the eldest daughter. I should get the whole amount. There it is. You really have no common sense. What? It's not just me. Dad said so too. You're making that up, aren't you? There's no way our father would leave you his entire inheritance. Don't keep lying to me without proof. I have proof. What? Dad left me a will. He left me the entire inheritance, not a penny to you. That's not true. Don't lie to me. I'm not lying. Well, I'll bring the will to the parents' house this weekend and show it to you. And I'm going to start living there from this weekend. What? You're going to live here? Are you kidding me? My boyfriend is spending all my money and I can't pay the rent. I don't have a place to live. That's why I'm going back to the house. I don't want to live with you. I'd rather just cut you off. You have no right to refuse me, because in Dad's will, it says that I, as the eldest daughter, will inherit the family home. I'd rather kick you out of the house. That will is garbage. I don't care what you say. I'm going back. Okay, let's just settle this in person. This weekend? Are you finally ready to give me my inheritance? Just wait for me and get ready to move out. Hey, why did you invite a lawyer to the house? Isn't that cowardly? Which one of us is the coward? Fabricating our father's will and trying to claim the entire inheritance for yourself? It's too cowardly and too shallow. But you wouldn't need to have a lawyer look at it anyway. The will you prepared was not in Dad's handwriting. Even a layman can tell it's not in proper form. Have you ever seen a real will? I don't think so. That will looked like it was written by a school kid. You and that lawyer have rotten eyes. That was our father's official will. You took my inheritance from me and kicked me out of our parents' house. If you act any more arrogant than this, I'm going to sue you. Yeah, fine. If you want to sue me, do whatever you want. Huh? What is that? Are you out of your mind? I'm perfectly sane. I won't lose in a court of law. Because over here, I have the genuine will Dad left behind. What? What does that mean? He left a will before he died. But you didn't say that before. The will you brought was so poorly written that I didn't even need to tell you. I didn't even know about the will until after the funeral. The lawyer who was present today showed it to me. And? What did it say? It said that Dad was leaving me his entire estate. Insurance money, savings, the family home, everything. What? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would he give it to you, the younger sister, instead of me, the eldest? Dad anticipated everything you'd do. That's Dad. What do you mean? After he passed away, he knew that you would come to me for the inheritance. That's why he left a will. Why? Why not me? Why you? It's a matter of course, right? Look back at your own behavior. You dropped out of college without telling anyone, but pretended to be a student so you could get tuition money. When you got caught and got in trouble, you tried to withdraw money from Dad's savings account without permission. When they found out, You accused them of domestic violence and called the police. He had no choice but to keep giving you money, but you kept raising the amount. How much do you think he spent on you? Isn't that enough for your inheritance? That's not true. I was abandoned by our father for 10 years. I should at least get the money I would have gotten for those 10 years. Are you out of your mind? Sure, you were eventually abandoned by the entire family and disappeared 10 years ago and was never heard from again. I know about everything. I know that no matter how much Dad paid, he kept getting bills for your debt. He worked so hard to pay it, even got sick and died in his 50s, probably due to overwork. On top of that, you want to take all of his inheritance after he passed away. How much more do you want to squeeze out of your father? I don't want to squeeze anything out of him. It wasn't my fault that he passed away. He chose to pay those debts off on his own. I didn't ask him to do it. How can you say that? Then, if Dad hadn't repaid the debts, what do you think would have happened? Some big scary guys would have shown up, and you would have been taken away. That's not true. I could have paid off my debt if I set my mind to it. Then, when are you gonna set your mind to it? Up to now, haven't there been a lot of things you should have set your mind to? Take this time, for example. You're counting on your father's inheritance. You'll never work a day in your life. I didn't create the debt this time. It's because a guy gambled away all my money. It's not my fault. I don't know anything about that. Who chose a guy like that? You, right? Stop blaming others. You're crazy for not wanting to help your poor sister. On top of that, you're working with a lawyer to get me kicked out. It's abuse. Abuse. If you feel that way, why don't you sue me? Let's let a judge decide who's right. Fine. I'll sue you right now. You, Dad, everyone's wrong. I'm his daughter. I deserve to keep at least half, if not all of it. It's a matter, of course, that I'm entitled to it. Oh yeah. You know, my lawyer just told me about this. He said that people who falsify or fabricate a will be excluded as legal heirs. Huh? That means you threw away your rights to the inheritance by your own doing. No way! Well, it was clearly written in your father's will that there is no inheritance for you. You ruined your own last hope, didn't you? Oh no! Then how am I supposed to live from now on? I don't even have a house to live in. Why don't you get serious? What? You said earlier, if you set your mind to it, you can pay back your debts. That's true. But I have to find a job now. I don't know if I can get a job right away. So, can you take care of me at the house for the time being? I decline. From here on, you are not allowed one step in this house. Who would let in someone who would abandon their parents? Don't say that. You're my only sister and you're abandoning me. Who are you to say that? When your father and I were in trouble, you didn't help us at all. Instead of helping me, you ignored me. You kept causing trouble when you lived here, and even after you left. You only tried to snatch money from him after the funeral, burial, and other hard things were over. Do you think anyone would help someone like that? Well, you were the kind of person who can't even understand the pain in people's hearts. You should just suffer as much as you can. Then, you might be able to understand just a little how Dad was feeling at the time. Hey, you're a little sassy for a little sister. Our mother and father are dead, and we're the only family we have left. And yet, you're so hard on me. Which one of us doesn't understand the pain in people's hearts? Listen to your sister. Just give me the money. I don't consider you my sister anymore. I don't have a penny to give you, and I don't want to see your face anymore. Don't ever contact me again. Oh, come on now. Don't you think it's too much? How am I going to make a living? Come on, tell me. After that, I blocked my sister's texts. I was on the lookout for her to show up near my parents' house for a while. 2 months passed, and she still hadn't shown up. I was wondering what happened when I got a call from my lawyer. After that, my sister broke up with her gambler boyfriend and started working in the nightlife. I heard that the man she met there, a company owner, introduced her to an office job. She embezzled the company's money, falsified the company's account books, and did many other things, and she ended up in court. Naturally, she lost the case and had to pay a large amount of compensation. I was so glad that my father's inheritance did not fall into the hands of such a person. After that, I sold my parents' house, moved out, and changed my cell phone. I don't think I will ever see my sister again, nor do I want to. I am truly horrified to think that such a person could have been my sister.